is Tanya Rowling. If you people are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you people are not, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I definitely recommend you guys to check my other videos as well. I would be teaching CBSE Class 10 NCERT Syllabus and my sister Tina Lopez would be teaching CBSE Class 8 NCERT Syllabus. Alright, now let's get into the video. Okay guys, today we are going to be learning exercise 1.3, third question, second subdivision. So now let's read the question. So the question is, prove that the following are irrationals. So the second subdivision is 7 root 5 5. Okay, so this is the question. So in this we have to prove 7 root 5. So this is somewhat complicated because we have 7 outside and we have root 5 as well. So here what we are going to do is, first let us assume 7 root 5 is rational. So we wrote to prove 7 root 5 is rational. Okay. So first of all, here what we are going to do is, we are going to be proving root 5. And then we shall prove 7 root 5. Okay. So as you guys know how to prove root 5, because in this exercise, in exercise 1.3, first question we proved root 5 is irrational. We proved for that. We are going to be writing the same steps in this. Okay. Now let's prove root 5 is rational. Okay. And then we shall change it into irrational. So we wrote root 5 is equal to P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0, where P and Q are co-primes. So we wrote this. Okay. So why did we write P by Q? That's because first we took root 5 as rational. 7 root 5 is rational. So rational numbers, they are always in the form P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0, where P and Q are co-primes. So I had already uploaded what are co-primes, and that too in exercise 1.3. in the first question I explained what are co-primes. So here let me just say you what are co-primes. So co-primes means if we don't have a HCF. So HCF is equal to, we don't have a particular number, we take the 1 as a co-prime. Okay. So that 1 is the co-prime and it is the HCF. Okay. So we wrote where P and Q are co-primes. Now let's write. So let me write the form, that is root 5 is equal to P by Q. So here it is in the fraction form, that means here also it has to be in the fraction form. So we shall write 1. Okay. Okay, so root 5 divided by 1. And now we are going to be doing cross multiplication. So cross multiplication, how we do is, so root 5 into Q and 1 into P. Okay, so this is the cross multiplication method. So now what's the answer? So root 5 into Q is root 5Q. Am I right? So we shall write root 5Q. Root 5Q is equal to 1 into P is, so let me show that. So 1 into P is 1P, P. Okay. So if you write P also, it means 1P. So let us write P as it is, like that. Okay. So P. Now it is P. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to be squaring on both sides. Now let's squaring on both sides. Okay, now let's write the form, that is root 5Q is equal to P. So root 5Q is equal to P. So as we are going to square it, let's write square. Okay. So root 5Q the whole square, and here it is P square. Okay. So that is the meaning of squaring. So here this 2 belongs to root 5 as well as Q. So now what we are going to do is, now I am going to be writing in pencil for your understanding. Okay. So here it is root 5 Q the whole square. Am I right? So here what we are going to do is, p square as it is. Okay. So what we are going to do is, we are going to cancel this square and this root. Why? Because this root means square. Am I right? So we cancel the square for this root 5. So here we cancel the root, here we cancel the square. So the answer is 5q square. Why? Because the square belongs to q as well. Am I right? So that's why I wrote 5q square. So we cancel the square for root 5, okay, not for the q. Remember this. So let me show that. So actually it was like this, okay. So don't need to mention the q right now. So it was like this. We cancel the 2 and we cancel this root, that means 2 here, right over here. Then it became 5. So it is 5q square is equal to p square. So we got this. So this is equation 1, okay. So now let's write q square is equal to p square divided by 5, okay. So why are we writing like this? That's because here it is in the multiplication form. When it comes here, when it crosses this bridge, that is equal to, then it becomes division. That's why it is division right over here, okay. Now let's write 5 divides p square, okay. Now let's write that. Now let's write 5 divides p square, and we shall write 5 divides p. We are writing p, that's because here we took rational number. That's why rational number, they are always in the form p by q. So that's why I took p. They are not in the form p square by q square. They are always in the form p by q. That's why I took p, because we should get the proper answer, okay. So we wrote 5 divides p. Now what we shall do is, we shall put p is equal to 5a in equation, sorry, it is n, okay. So in equation 1, okay. So from equation 1 we shall write the form. Let me show the equation 1. So equation 1 is 5q square is equal to p square, okay. So this is the equation 1. Now let's write this form. Now let's write that. So the equation 1 is 5q square is equal to p square. Am I right? So now let's write 5q square. Here instead of p we should write 5a. So we shall write, here it is p, so we shall write 5a, and the p has square. So we shall write 5a the whole square, okay. So now let's write 5q square is equal to, so this 2 belongs to 5 as well as a. So it is 5 square as well as a square. So 5 square means 5 into 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. So I shall write 25 a square, because this 2 belongs to a as well, okay. Now we shall write q square is equal to 25 a square divided by 5. Why it is division? That's because here it was in the multiplication form. When it crosses this bridge, that is equal to, then it becomes division, okay. So this is very very important. Please learn this, okay. Please remember this. So now it is 25 a square by 5. Now we shall cancel it, okay. So 1 5 is 5 and 5 5s are, it is 25. So we shall write 5. So we got 5a square. We shall write q square is equal to 5a square, okay. So this is the answer, okay. So as you guys know, we got q square is equal to 5a square. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to write q square divided by 5 is equal to a square. Why are we writing it like this? That's because here it is in the multiplication form. When it comes to this side, then it is in the division form. Okay, remember this. This is very, very important. Okay, so now it is q square divided by 5. Now what we shall do is, we shall write this a square this side, that is in the left side, and we shall write this form this side, that is q square divided by 5. Okay, so you guys might ask, why are we writing like this? Because like these forms are always, it is supposed to be right over here. Okay, that's why I wrote a square right over here, because a square value is q square by 5. Okay, then if it is in the right left side only, it would be much more better, and it is really, we should write it in the left side, because the values are, we are supposed to write the values here, and we are supposed to write the value of that particular variable in left side. Okay, and that too we should prove that 5 divides q square. For that it has to be in the right side. Okay, so now let's write 5 divides q square, and we shall write 5 divides q. Okay, we are writing q because it is in the rational form. Okay, so why? Because rational number, they are always in the form p by q. Okay, that's why I wrote q to get a proper answer. Now let's write, they both have a common factor. So p and q have a common factor. Now let's write that. So now we wrote both p and q have as a common factor, which is a contradiction. Therefore root 5 is irrational. Okay, so you guys might ask, why did we write it like this? That is, what is the meaning of contradiction? What is the exact meaning of this contradiction? So the meaning of contradiction means, first we took 7 root 5 as rational, but in the question it's mentioned irrational. Let me show that. So here in the question it's mentioned irrational. Then we took to prove 7 root 5 is rational. Why did we write rational right over here instead of writing irrational? That's because if we write rational only, we get that form, that is p by q. Okay, otherwise we won't get it. Why? Because rational numbers, they are always in the form p by q, where q is not equal to 0. So in order to get this p by q, for that, by using this p by q only, we proved that 7 root 5 is rational or irrational. So we prove it by using that form, that is p by q. For that we should take rational number. Why? Because in mathematics, rational number is always in the form p by q. So we can't change it, that is permanently in the form p by q. That's why we took rational. Okay, so here instead of taking irrational, we took rational. So we just switched it up. That's why we wrote that it is a contradiction. It is a conclusion. First, instead of taking the true statement, that is irrational, we took the false statement, that is rational. So as we took rational right over here, we are writing it is a contradiction, and then we shall write root 5 is irrational. Let me show that. So here we wrote root 5 is irrational. That's because we took, instead of taking irrational, we took rational, and after that we concluded that it is a contradiction, and then we can write root 5 is irrational. We proved it. Okay, so now we shall write to prove 7 root 5 is irrational. So we solved the root 5, am I right? So why did we solve that? Let me show that. So here you guys can see the question is 7 root 5. But we proved root 5 is irrational. We didn't prove 7. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to prove 7 root 5 is irrational. Okay, now let's prove that. So we are just continuing it. Okay, so we took, let us assume 7 root 5 is rational. We are going to be proving 7 root 5 both. Okay, so now we shall write 7 root 5 is equal to, if it is rational, then we should write A by B. Okay, instead of writing P by Q, we are writing A by B, where B is not equal to 0. So, in order to get into this problem, what we did is, for root 5 we took P by Q, am I right? But here we are taking A by B, that's because you should not get confused. Okay, that's why I took A by B. Okay, where A and B B are co-primes. Okay, okay, so where A and B are co-primes. So now let's write the form, that is 7 root 5 is equal to A by B. So here it is in the fraction form, that means here it is 7 root 5 by 1. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to cross multiply it. So we are going to be cross multiplying 7 root 5 into B, and here it is 1 into A. Okay. So when we cross multiply 7 root 5 into B, it is 7 root 5 B is equal to 1 into A is A. Okay. So we got it. Now what we are going to do is, so now let's write root 5 is equal to A by 7B. It is somewhat confusing, am I right? So actually what we did is, we just kept the root 5 right over here, we just put it right over here, and we took this value, that is 7, and B value. Here it is in the multiplication form, so when it crosses this bridge, that is equal to, it becomes division. So now it is division right over here. B also it is in the division form, 7 also it is in the division form right over here. So it came like this, and then it changes into division. Okay, remember this. Okay, we brought the 7 and B right over here, and it changed into division. So that is root 5 is equal to A by 7B. So as you guys know, root 5 is irrational. We solved that root 5 is irrational in this question, and after that we solved 7 root 5 is irrational. Am I right? So what we shall write is, we know that root 5 is irrational, then what about A by 7B? Then A by 7B, according to contradiction, then it is irrational. Now let's write that. So as we solved, we know that root 5 is irrational and A by 7B is rational. Okay, we solved that root 5 is irrational, and then what about this one, A by 7B? Then it is rational. Okay, then after that we get a contradiction. Okay, so after contradiction it is irrational. First of all, do you guys know what are contradiction? Contradiction mean, first in the question we took, in the question it's written irrational, but instead of taking irrational we took rational, which is a wrong one, but we took rational because we should get a proper answer. That's why here we concluded that we took rational number. So it is a contradiction. After that, from rational it changed into irrational. Okay, because of contradiction only it changed into irrational. Then we proved it. If we don't get a contradiction, then it is rational. So just because of this contradiction only, we proved that it is irrational. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like this video and help your friends by sharing this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in the comment section. Catch you in the next video. Bye.